So now we come to the topic. So yesterday we had started with the new topic, that is quantum numbers from quantum mechanical model. Okay, quantum numbers we had started, and two quantum numbers we had finished. What were those? First was small n, that is principal quantum number. And what this quantum number tells us? This quantum number tells us about the main energy shell. Main energy shell is given by this principal quantum number, that where the electron is actually present, the main shell. Okay, the second quantum number which we had done was L, which has several names. We have written azimuthal quantum number, angular momentum quantam number, or subsidiary quantum number. So one name I am writing, azimuthal quantum number. What L signifies? L gives us the information about subshell. Okay, so shell and its subshell, these two things we have known. And I told you that till now we have not introduced the concept of subshell, but now in class 11th we should know that shells are not intact. There are subshell, and subshells have orbitals inside them. Previously what we were calling just as orbit is now not just orbit, it is now shell in 3 dimension, and this is first number of shell denoted as 1, 2, 3, 4 or KLMN. Okay, second, n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, and so on, n is equal to 4. Okay, according to this, we had studied yesterday that azimuthal quantum number, that is L, or subshells, are decided according to the principal quantum number having values. L have values from 0 to n minus 1. This formula we had written yesterday, from 0 to n minus 1, and according to this we have concluded that whatever is the number of shell, if n is equal to 2, then it will have 2 subshells. And what will be those 2 subshells? 0 and 1 in numbers, and S and P in letters. 0 is in letters, it is S. 1 in letters is P. So we will have 2. When n is equal to 3, that time we will have 3 subshells. In third number of shell, the number of subshells will be 3. And what will be the name of those subshells? 0, 1 and 2, because we should have n minus 1. So 3 minus 1 will give us value 0, 1 and 2. So those in numbers, these are 0, 1 and 2. In letters it is S, 1 is P and 2 is known as D. S, P and D. Similarly, when n is equal to 4, then we will have 4 subshells. What are those 4 subshells? 0, 1, 2 and 3. That will be known as S, P, D and F. And for the first n is equal to 1, we know that we have only 1. The subshell is only 1. And that subshell is known as 0 subshell, and 0 subshell is actually S. Okay, so 0 subshell is given alphabet S. So this manner now we have to understand that whatever is the shell number, that many number of subshells are there inside it. Beyond 4 we will go, then they will also be. In n is equal to 5, the number of subshells will be 5. N is equal to 6, number of subshells will be 6, like this only. Though we have 118 elements, and filling of those 118 elements is over by 7th number of shell. It is over 7th number of shell, and that also not completely full. Okay, 7th shell is also not completely full. Okay, so these two quantum numbers we had finished. Okay. Now we'll come to the third number of quantum number. Denoted by small m or m having subscript L, which is known as magnetic quantum number. Okay, now what magnetic quantum number tells us? Magnetic quantum number tells us about the orbitals. This tells us about shell. Azimuthal small l tells us about subshells. First one tells about shell, then second one tells us about subshell, and the third one tells us about orbitals. Okay, and this order is like that inside the shells subshells are present, inside the subshells orbitals are present. Now let's see how they are present. Now, what is magnetic quantum number actually? First we discuss this. So magnetic quantum number was given by the solution of Schrodinger's wave equation. Okay. And why this magnetic quantum number existed? Because the electrons are moving around the nucleus. They are moving, and because those electrons are having wave nature, so they get accelerated when any moving object gets accelerated when it is moving, and because it gets accelerated, it develops electric field, and when it develops electric field, and as a result magnetic field is also generated. This is all about the physics which we will study in physics also. So because of the movement it is getting accelerated, because of acceleration generating electric field, and because of electric field as a result magnetic field is produced. So that charged electron behaves like a small magnet, and because there is magnetism in earth also, earth is a natural magnet, so the magnetism of these electrons may interact with the magnetism of earth, and because of that it was given magnetic quantum number as one of the values for solution of wave function of electron also. Okay, so magnetic quantum number is actually because of magnetic nature of electrons. Because of that nature electrons behave as small magnet. If all the electrons are means all the orbits are full, then that particular atom does not have attraction or repulsion from the outside magnetic field. But if electrons are not paired, so they are affected by the external magnetic field. So this we will study later. Right now we just need to know that magnetic quantum number is one of the values which is to be known for electron, because it tells us about the orbitals. And orbitals are actually what? Orbitals are actually orientation of electron in 3D space. How they are oriented? Because they are affected by the external magnetic field, so they will orient themselves in a definite direction. So what that direction they are orienting them is told by magnetic quantum number, or we also call them as, in simple words you can say that we are talking about orbitals. Okay, so how orbitals are known? Now for number of values of m, magnetic quantum number values possible for an electron are equal to 2l plus 1 values. Now that means the values of m will depend on L. 2l plus 1 number of values will be there for magnetic quantum number. This is the formula, but it is not so difficult to understand it. Formula is just formula. It has always fixed values for all subshells which we have studied. So once you know those values, you need not to use the formula every time. This is just for knowing. Once the values are known to you, you can directly put those values. Okay, so that is why, because the values of magnetic quantum number m are dependent on L, hence we use it as ml as suffix also. Okay, so either you write this or this, both are same. 2l plus 1 values, and those values range from minus L to 0 till plus L. Now what is this? This I will explain you. Okay. Once we have written the formulas. Now diagrammatically if we go, let me clear it and then we will make the diagram as well as formulas will be written, and we will see how we find the values of m for different. Now the formula written by us was 2l plus 1 values, it will have m. Okay, and also we said that this range from minus L through 0 to plus L. Okay, now how it works, let us see. We know that if n is equal to 1, that means we are talking about shell number 1. When n is 1, that time L is 0. How this came? L is equal to 0 because we know that n has values from 0 to n minus 1. This formula we are using. So 0 to n minus 1, 1 minus 1 is 0. So it has only one value, that is 0. Clear? Then L is 0 and 0 corresponds to S. 0 corresponds to S. That means we are talking about which subshell? S subshell. When n is 1, L is 0, that time m is equal to what? M will be having 2l plus 1 number of values. That means 2 into 0 plus 1. That is 0 plus 1 is 1. So m will have only one value. And which will be that value? We said that it ranges from minus L through 0 till plus L. So what is L here? Actually L here is 0. So the value, one value, and that value for m is actually 0. That means the orientation of S orbital, S subshell is there, and from that S subshell we have only one orbital value, that is 0 orientation m value. What is this? You will know. Just wait for a few minutes. Okay, then for n is equal to 2. Again using the same formula, the L values will be 0 and 1. Clear? N minus 1 values, so 0 as well as 1. That means it has two subshells, S and P. Okay. Now what are the total number of values of m? The total number of values for m will be here 2 into L plus 1. The maximum value of L here is m is equal to 1, 2 into 1, that is 2, 2 plus 1, 3 values will be there. For m there will be 3 values, m is equal to 3. Now what those 3 values will be? This we have to write. So we said that ranging from minus L through 0 till plus L. So maximum value we are seeing. So that is minus 1, 0 and plus 1. These 3 values will be there. Okay. And because this 1 stands for P, this will be for P. We will see. Just after a while you will understand. N is equal to 3. So L is equal to 0, 1 and 2. Okay. So 0, 1 and 2, that means what? S, P and D. Let us take the maximum value of m. So total number of m values will be equal to 2 into 2 plus L. Sorry, 2 into 2 plus 1. That is 5 values will be there for m total when L value is 2. What will be those 5 values? Ranging from minus L through 0 to plus L. That means L value is 2. So minus 2, minus 1, 0, plus 1, plus 2. Now what is all this what we have written? Okay, now we come to the diagram part. The meaning of all this, simply if we want to do, is that if this is a nucleus and this is number 1 shell, number 2 shell, number 3 shell, number 4 shell. Number 1, n is equal to 1, n is equal to 2, n is equal to 3, n is equal to 4. Clear? Now for n is equal to 1, we had seen that s value is, when n is 1, then s is 0. That means only L. L value is 0. That means what? N number of shell has only one subshell, that is S. Okay? S subshell is present, just like a house with one room only, and that room is S. So this is house also and room also. Okay? S. N is equal to 2. This is a shell from outside. Okay? This is one shell. Okay, now because n is equal to 1 has only one subshell, that is S, and inside this S we said that m value is 0. That means there is only one subshell, and inside that subshell there is only one orbital inside it. So one S and one orbital also inside it. Now n is equal to 2. N is equal to 2, we had seen that it has two subshells. What are those two subshells? We will make one subshell is S and another subshell is P. Now we are making subshells. N is equal to 3, we'll have three subshells. What are those? S, P and B. You can also write them as, this is one number of shells, so this is 1S, this is two numbers, so this is 2S, and this is 2P. This is third number of shells, so this is 3S, this is 3P, and this is 3D. N is equal to 4, we'll have 4 subshells. What are those 4 subshells? 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay, inside the shell only. First one will be 4S, second one will be 4P, third one will be 4D, and fourth one will be 4F. Like this, from outside it is appearing as one shell, fourth number of shell. From inside it is divided into 4S, 4P, 4D and 4F. Same with this, and this is not divided because it has only one. Okay. Now what is there? We had just seen that for n is equal to 1, L is 0 and m is also 0. That means first number of shell has one subshell and one orbital, and that one orbital is designated as, this is actually not number, don't be confused with number. That we are writing 0 and 0 has no value, but here that 0 correspond to one direction. Here L is equal to 0 correspond to one alphabet, that alphabet is S. So don't compare it with number, otherwise you will have confusion that 0 means no value and we are saying 0 is 1. That means having 1. So 0 is here indicating about one subshell, that is S. 0 here is indicating about one direction because M tells us about orientation. Okay. Now in the second number of shell, okay, we said that second number of shell we had 3 values. Now what will happen? First number in n is equal to 2, first number of subshell is S, this is 2S. Whenever there is S type of subshell, it will have only one orbital, and that orbital name is 0. The m value for that orbital will always be 0. Whether this S is of 1S, means present in n is equal to 1, this 1S is a orbital as well as a subshell, and it has only one compartment. It is 2S, Wherever it is s, it will always have only one orbital, 0 orbital. 3s will also have only one orbital. 4s will also have only one orbital. Means wherever there is s type of subshell present, inside that subshell there will be only one orbital, and that orbital's direction is 0 direction, neutral, neither bend toward positive, neither bend toward negative. Okay. Now the second number of subshell is p. P has L value 1, and whenever L value will be 1, that will be 2 into 1, 2 plus 1, 3. So M value will always come as 3. So wherever L value is 1, you will get M value as 3. 3 values, minus 1, 0, plus 1. That means this P which is present here will have 3 orbitals inside it, 1, 2 and 3. Okay, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3. There are 3 orbitals. Whether this is P of 2 or it is P of 3 or it is P number of subshell of 4. Every time wherever P subshell is present, it will have 3 orbitals, 1, 2 and 3. This is 0, this is minus 1, this is plus 1. That means this orbital will be having new direction, not left, not right. This one bend towards one side, this one bend towards other side. About the shapes of orbitals we will do later, but you understand we are making them for our convenience in the form of boxes, but all these 3 boxes have different direction. That is why they have been given minus 1, 0, plus 1. But for filling of electrons, we need not to know the directions. Only thing we need to know is wherever there is P, it will have 3 orbitals, minus 1, 0, plus 1. Okay, so these are orbitals. It will have orbital, this will have orbitals 1, 2 and 3. Clear? In 3p also, this is here, this 3 is indicating the number of shell, this p is indicating the number of subshell, and inside the p always there will be number of orbitals 3. So this 3p also will have 3 number of orbitals like this. Okay. Now same with 4s. When there is 4s, there will be only one orbital inside is 4p. There will be 3 orbitals inside p number of subshell. When it comes to d, now we will talk about d. One more thing we have to remember, that first number of shell does not have p. Second number of shell has s and p, but they don't have d. Okay, they don't have d. This n is equal to 3 has s, p and d, but it does not have f. Fourth number of shell has s, p, d and f, all 4. So this we have to remember. We cannot do filling of electrons in 1s, 1s, 1p. 1p does not exist, so we cannot put electrons in 1p. This we need to remember. Now it comes for d number of subshell. Subshell number d given by n is equal to 4. First time we will have d is n is equal to 4. N is equal to 4. First time we will give the value of 4f. Where n is 4, that time L value is from 0 to n minus 1, that is 0 to 3. So in third number of subshell, 3 corresponds to d. So in third number of subshell, how many orbitals we can have? By the formula we had just seen that it was 5 values. So wherever d subshell will be there, the number of orbitals will always be 5. How they will be 5? We had just seen that it will be having 5 values from the formula 2l plus 1. So here the value of L is 3. So value of L is 0 to 0, 1, 2. It will be n is equal to 4. Okay, we were Doing on. N is equal to 3 we had done. N is 3 we wanted for D. So 0 to 2 and 2 is equal to D. And 3 is actually equal to F. So now 2 into the value is 2. So 4 plus 1. So total values are 5 values. So those 5 values will be 0, minus 1, minus 2, plus 1, plus 2. Okay. And for N is equal to 4. L is 0 to N minus 1, that is 3. 3 corresponds to F. So those values are 2L plus 1. That means 2L value is 3. So 2, 3, 6 plus 1, that is 7. When F or subshell is there, it will have 7 orbitals. And 7. Okay. Those 7 will be 0, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, plus 1, plus 2, plus 3. In this manner, this is actually the final structure of any okay. Now let us just come. So finally, how electrons are filled, which we were thinking that when we were studying Bohr's model, what we used to do, the formula for filling of electrons is 2n square rule. According to that, this is nucleus, and the first number n will have 2 electrons, second will have 8 electrons, third will have 18 electrons, and fourth will have 32 electrons. This was the only thing which we had been studying. Now what we know, now what we have to understand is what? Is this, that when we are writing n is equal to n is equal to 1, the number of electrons are 2, 8 electrons, 18 electrons, 32 electrons. N is equal to 2, n is 3, n is equal to 4. So now we know that in first number, because this is n is equal to 1, so it has only one subshell, that is S subshell, and S subshell has only one orbital. And one more important thing about orbitals is this, that they can accommodate only 2 electrons. One orbital can have maximum 2 electrons. Less than it is possible, but more than 2 is not possible. Means it can have 1 electron, but it cannot have more than 2. So S orbital can have 2 electrons. Okay. Now in n is equal to 2, the maximum electrons which can come are 8. But now we know that n is 2, that means L is 0 and 1. 0 and 1 means S and P. And S, this is for 1s. Now for 2s, this is 2s and this is 2p, which together forms n is equal to 2. Now in 2s we can have 1 orbital, in 2p we are having 3 orbitals, because wherever there is p, the number of orbitals will be 3. Now in 2s the number of electrons which can come are 2. In p we can have, so these are total 6, these are 2, 2 plus 6 is 8. That is why we say that there are 8 electrons which can come in shell number second. How they come is like this, that 2 electrons will always be in the s orbital or s subshell, and remaining 6 will be present in the p subshell in 3 different orbitals. These orbitals are 0, minus 1 and plus 1. Each orbital can accommodate only 2 electrons. Clear? Now the third we had said that it contains 18 electrons. So how third number of shell contains 18 electrons? Because when n is 3, that time we have L values from 0 to 2. That is, we have 3 L values, 0, 1 and 2, which is equal to 3s, 3p and 3d, because the shell number is 3. So I have written here 3s, 3p, 3d. S will have 1 orbital, p will have 3 orbital, and d will have 5 orbitals, because the number of orbitals are fixed for particular subshell. Now each one of them will have 2 electrons. So 2 electrons here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Because 5 orbitals are there, each will include 2 electrons, so total electrons are 10. It is having 6 electrons, it is having 2 electrons. The total becomes 18 electrons. Okay. So like this, the electrons get filled in these. Okay. So this is the importance of all the 3 quantum numbers. Now for filling of electrons, you will have to switch over from the theoretical part. Only thing, this all which we have studied was the theoretical part. You have just to remember that whenever we will do filling of electrons in various shells, we have to remember only 2-3 things, that whatever is the number of shell, there's that many number of subshells are present inside it. Third thing which you have to remember is the number of orbitals in particular subshell. When it is S subshell, orbital is 1. When it is P subshell, orbital are 3. When it is D, orbitals are 5. When it is F, orbitals are 7. Okay, and each orbital can have only 2 electrons. These many things you will have to remember when we will start doing filling of electrons. Right now we are finishing the theoretical part only. Okay. Now the 4th quantum number which is left is not very important from the point of view of filling of electrons, because filling of electrons is based on only these 3 quantum numbers, N, L and M. S tells about only the spin of these electrons. Now the 4th quantum number you will write, that is, you can write S or MS. Okay, both notations are used for it, S or MS, and known as spin quantum number. Okay, what actually is this spin quantum number? See, one movement of electron is around the nucleus, but another movement of electron is on its own axis. It is moving, spinning on its own axis. Okay, so it can spin like this or it can spin like this. So because 2 electrons are required to be present in one orbital can accommodate 2 electrons, and both the electrons are spinning. If they will spin in one direction, their magnetism will clash each other. So what is there, that 2 electrons which are present in the same orbital, they are always having opposite spin. Means if one is rotating in one, is moving in one direction, the other will spin in the opposite direction. That means if this is clockwise, the other one will move anti-clockwise, so that they both are stable in the orbital. So this is about the 4th quantum number, spin quantum number, that both the electrons which are present in a orbital, they have opposite spins. One is clockwise, the other is anti-clockwise. That is why we make them as one as upward arrow and the other as downward arrow. I have made half of arrows, you can make it like this also. Okay, both are correct. Now mathematically these clockwise and anti-clockwise are given as plus half spin, and the anti-clockwise given minus half spin. These are just numerical values. Nowhere you have to use them while doing the filling of electrons. Plus half, minus half has no significance when you fill the electrons. Only thing you need to know is this, that when electrons are filled, the spins are opposite. You have to draw the diagrams. You have to show this, one clockwise, other anti-clockwise. This must be only known to you, that what is the mathematical value of these spins, plus half, minus half. Okay. So these are about all 4 quantum numbers which are required for the filling of electrons in these various shells, subshells and orbitals. Okay. Now what important thing is this, that it is okay that electrons will be filled in these subshells and orbitals, but again there is some rule which is to be followed for the filling of these electrons. They will not go on filling as such, 1s, then 2s, 2p, then 3s, 3p, 3d, then 4s, 4p, 4d. No, the filling of electrons does not take place in the sequence where they are available. The sequence is changed. So how that sequence is changed, this we have to see using Aufbau's energy principle. Okay, so